Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Brittany. I like to read and talk about it. I'm really excited because we're bringing out these bad boys again. These are like TBR prompt cards. I did a video like this back in, I think, January, and it was so fun. This was like my favorite way to pick out my TBR. If you're unfamiliar with prompt cards, you pull a card and it literally gives you like a specific prompt where you have to pick a book in that field. And I like it because it kind of gives you still a little more leeway of being able to still pick a book within a specific realm rather than it being like, hey, read this book. Like, you get a little more freedom. I think I'm gonna pick out 5 books for April because I actually do plan on starting Throne of Glass, hopefully in April. I know I have not read them yet. I can't believe it either. That's the idea. I'm also going on vacation in April, so I've been averaging 20 books a month, but again, it really is just based on what's happening that month, and with me traveling and stuff, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to read more or less. The idea is that I'm gonna try to pick from my 2025 TBR cart that I built at the beginning of this year of books that I for sure want to read this year. However, if there's something that just does not fit the prompt, I'm gonna go to my actual bookshelf. I don't know how to shuffle, really. I'm not very good at it, so I'm just gonna like kind of not very good at it at all. Alright, so our first book for our April TBR, I'm just gonna like fan these out as best as I can. A book by an author you've never read before. I'm pretty sure this is literally the first card I picked last time too. That's actually hilarious. Well, I have a lot on my cart, I'm pretty sure, and just on my bookshelf in general. There's so many choices I could pick for this one. I know I'm supposed to be picking off my TBR card, but like none of these are necessarily screaming at me for this card because I'm afraid I'm going to pick one for this card and then like the next card is going to fit whatever that is. I might do Magnolia Parks. I think I might do Magnolia Parks. I've been really nervous about this book because this is like one of those very popular books that like people either love or hate, but mostly love. Like I mostly see everybody just obsessed with it. So I just like am so nervous, but it seems like I would love it. Like everyone kind of just describes this as a Gossip Girl vibe, but like in London or something like that. London, yeah. So I think this is what we're gonna go with for the first one. Magnolia Parks by Jessa Hastings. Oh gosh, I'm nervous. Okay, so yeah, okay, this will be our first one. I'm gonna try to pick, I think, more, since summer is like coming up, it's gonna be April. I'm going on vacation. We're going to visit like our friends and family and stuff in Florida. And we're going to be spending a lot of time like on the beach and stuff. So I think I kind of want to try to pick books that will fit that vibe. Okay, the second book for our April TBR. Let's see. I'm trying to like fan these out so I can actually like give them all a fair chance. What side should I pick? You guys tell me. Hopefully you guys said this side. This is what I'm going for. A cozy fantasy book? Like, to me, The Cruel Prince is cozy. I feel like cozy is a little subjective. Let me Google cozy fantasy and just to see like what actually comes up. Because I have 2 books in my head right now. To me, like fairy books are a lot of times are like cozy fantasy. I don't know why. Popular cozy fantasy books. We're looking on Goodreads. I actually have 2 of those books. Okay. This is not considered, I guess, cozy. I was trying. Let me grab my 2 options on my bookshelf. Give me 1 second. Okay, so the first one we have Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Fairies, which is actually the one that I was thinking of when I grabbed that one and I said, oh, I'm thinking of 2. This one for sure, I was thinking of it because I hear a lot of people describe this as cozy fantasy and it came up on the Goodreads thing. And then my other option is Legends and Lattes. What do you guys think? I wish I could like ask you in real time right now. If I'm about to offend anybody, if you guys are screaming at one book over the other, I'm so sorry. I think I am gonna go with Emily Wilde's only because, hear me out if anybody's mad, this to me gives me like spring summer vibes. I think it's like the whole fairy thing, you know what I mean? And I feel like this would be a really cute book to read like on the beach. Like it's just like I don't know, it just like fits the vibe to me. Whereas this fits like fall vibes to me. So I think I'm gonna save this for fall. So I think for cozy fantasy we are gonna go with Emily Wilde. Was that a good choice? Can somebody let me know? Okay, book number 3. I think we picked over here last time, right? So I'll pick over here this time. Is it upside down again? A book with a color in the title. Ooh. Oh, okay. I have a couple options. Okay, I literally have 4 choices. I have 4 choices for this prompt. 2 of them are on my TBR, TBR cart, so I feel like I should theoretically choose one of those. But here's the thing, those options are kind of scaring me because the first one is literally The Priory of the Orange Tree. My thing is, if I'm planning on starting Throne of Glass, I don't know if this is a good choice for this month. And also, I just got done reading like When the Moon Hatched, The Crimson Moth, The Book of Basriel, like all of these other fantasy books. So this is just, I don't think we're gonna choose that one. Then the other option I have that's on my TBR cart is Quicksilver. This is another one where I'm like, maybe, but again, because I have so much fantasy like in my brain right now, I don't know if it's the best choice, but I have really been wanting to read this. So I'll show you my last 2 options. I have Blood Orange, but because this is like a vampire type book, I believe, yeah, this is like a vampire book, kind of like I was saying earlier, that's kind of giving fall vibes, or like moody fall winter. And now that we're going into spring summer, I don't know if I'm really gonna be in the mood for like this dark aesthetic. So I don't think we're gonna choose this one. And then this other one is a different, you know, style, and it is Blue Sisters. So these are the 2 that I'm torn between. Okay, I'm probably gonna make a lot of people really mad right now, but I think I'm gonna choose Blue Sisters. Because, like I said, I've been reading so much fantasy. I'm planning on reading Throne of Glass. I've already picked Emily Wilde, so we've already got a fantasy. So just to kind of switch up my TBR, I feel like this could be a good palette cleanser, or like just something to give me a complete refresh between romance and fantasy and everything. So yeah, I think this is what we're gonna go with, Blue Sisters. Am I supposed to be like telling you guys the plot of these books? I just realized. All I know about this one is I believe there's 4 sisters and one of them passes away, and the remaining 3 sisters, they kind of like lost touch or something. They have to reunite in New York to attempt the stop of the sale of their childhood home. When they return to each other, they like, it helps them navigate like their grief, addiction, and heartbreak, and learn to fall in love with life again. I don't know, it just kind of feels like it might be like a really good emotional story, and it might be like something, I don't know if it's like a heartfelt sistery story, but I just feel like me as a sister with a sister, I just feel like it might be a really good read. So, and then I don't think I really explained this one to you. I think she's like doing research on fairies, but I don't think this is like an actual, like, I don't know if there's actually like fairies in this, or if she's just like studying fairies. Like, she's a scholar and a researcher who's writing the world's first encyclopedia of fairy lore. And then the main male character is apparently a dashing and insufferable handsome academic rival, Wendell Bambleby, who manages to charm the townsfolk, muddle Emily's research, and confound and frustrate her. I did such a great job at explaining that. Okay, I think we're gonna go back to the middle, or I genuinely cannot remember where I last pulled from. But like the middle is always just like my go-to. This one's calling out to me. A book that is first in the series. Okay. Is that cheating if I pick Throne of Glass? I feel like that's cheating. Okay, hold on. I feel like a lot of the stuff on my TBR cart are like sequels, or just something I'm really not in the mood for right now, for being completely honest. I keep looking at my fantasies, but it's like, girl, no, stop. Is this a series or is this a standalone? I don't know if this is a series or a standalone, so I guess we're not gonna pick it just because I really can't figure it out. I think I actually might go with Better Than the Movies by Lynn Painter. Again, it's kind of giving like summery vibes to me, and this is a series, I know. It might be like interconnected, or I don't know if it follows the same people, if it's like interconnected, but I do know that there's more books like in this series. So I think we will do Better Than the Movies. This is about Liz, and she has a next door neighbor who, like, growing up, he just like was an ultimate pest. It says that he put a frog in her Barbie dream house. He hid lawn gnomes' severed head in their neighborhood book exchange. So then we fast forward 10 years. They're in high school. So she needs his help to kind of scheme to get Liz's like crush, I guess, to notice her. And then obviously they probably realize that they like each other or something. So it just sounds cute. I've heard nothing but good things about this. A lot of people just say it's literally such a cute little read. I'm trying to pick like more I don't want to say like easier to read, but like more digestible books, you know, books that are easier to digest, just because for the 40,000th time in this video, I'm reading Throne of Glass in April, hopefully, and I just got done literally reading a bunch of fantasy books, so I just like need a second. My brain needs a second, you know? Okay, last book for our April TBR. That does not obviously mean that I'm only going to be reading these 5 books. I do like to read a lot of like mood reading, and sometimes I'll put on like an audiobook while I'm cleaning and stuff for the day, so there will definitely be more books for my wrap up, but I'm just trying to keep my TBR light this month so it's less expectations. Okay, where should I pick the last one from? Oh, don't fall. I don't know. A book with gods or goddesses. Oh, okay. I have a literal whole Greek mythology section. Alright, so right now I'm literally looking at 1,000 Ships, Daughters of Olympus, Clytemnestra. What else? Do I have any other ones that are like God? Oh, City of Gods and Monsters. We're not doing that one. I'm telling you right now. That one I know I'm gonna want to like really be in a fantasy mood to read that one. It's the way I've literally only picked one book off my TBR cart. Well, I don't think 1,000 Ships is about gods or goddesses. I think 1,000 Ships is more about the woman of Troy, I'm pretty sure. Okay, I think I'm torn between Clytemnestra and Daughters of Olympus. I believe this one's about Demeter, like after her daughter gets kidnapped by Hades and like, you know, her as a mother. I believe this is Agamemnon's wife, and this is like after he sacrifices her daughter, I believe. I kind of want to do this one. I think this is the one that we're going to go for. Hi, future me here while I'm editing. I realized as I was editing that I actually should have chosen Daughters of Olympus, considering that one follows Demeter, who is an actual, like, you know, goddess. Whereas Clytemnestra is about the king of Mycenae and the daughter of the rulers of, like, Sparta. So technically I feel like I didn't choose the right one for the prompt, but there are a lot of like mentions of like the gods and goddesses in that book still, because they do like sacrifices and they do everything for like the gods. So it still counts, like there's still gods and goddesses in the book, but I feel like Daughters of Olympus would have been better for like the actual prompt. So sorry. It says, you were born to a king, but you marry a tyrant. You stand by helplessly as he sacrifices your child to placate the gods. You watch him wage war on a foreign shore, and you comfort yourself with violent thoughts of your own. This was not the first offense against you. This was not the life you deserved. And slowly you plot. When your husband returns in triumph, you become a woman with choice. You bide your time and force the gods' hands in the game of retribution. If power isn't given to you, you have to take it for yourself. I think that's what we're going to go with for that last one. So just to recap the 5 books that we have chosen, a book with gods or goddesses, we chose Clytemnestra by Constanza Casati. Then a book with a color in the name, we have Blue Sisters by Coco Malors. If I'm saying any of these last names wrong, I'm sorry. A book that is the first in the series, Better Than the Movies by Lynn Painter. A cozy fantasy, we have Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Fairies by Heather Fawcett. And lastly, a book by an author you have never read, we have Magnolia Parks by Jessa Hastings. I think we have a good little roundup of multiple genres. To be honest, we literally have a romance, I don't know if Blue Sisters is like a literary fiction or just, we have a fiction, another romance, a cozy fantasy, and a Greek mythology retelling. That's perfect. So if you're not already subscribed, definitely do that. That way you can kind of follow along and see my thoughts on these books. Most of the books I read, I do have in vlogs, with the exception of a few like random ones that I mood read during the day or something. But 90% of them are in vlogs, or at least are in my wrap up at the end of the month. I try to do a wrap up at the end of the month where I really just like go into detail about my thoughts on that book and what I rated it. So definitely subscribe. That way you don't miss out on, you know, what I actually think about these. I'm really excited actually to read all of these. So I'll see you guys next week. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope this was actually a quick video for once for you guys, because I know most of my videos are like 40 minutes long because they're mostly reading vlogs, and I just, yeah. Let me know a book that is on your April TBR, and other than that, I will see you guys next week. Bye!